Okay. Diane Fields is a filmmaker from Ghana, um, a passionate crusader for educating the youth and impacting them positively, and championing African movies to new heights. I grew up in Nigeria, in Abia State, and I schooled in Calabar before moving back to my native country, Ghana, where I continued education and finally got into movies over time, and here we are. All four parts are serious. The Genesis is serious from start to finish, so it continues that way. You see more action in the second part, third part, and fourth part, but they all address different angles to what the main plot of the story is all about. The second part is looking at the West African region. The third part we're looking at Africa as a whole, and the concluded part, start piecing everything together. So we keep growing the concept of the movie, and we get bigger with it. I had to do some research. As at the time I started to develop the concept of the story, that was about 8 years ago, we'd had a couple of issues in Ghana relating to narcotics, and it was all over the news. Young guys were being arrested, then at the Kotoka International Airport, where the British and the Ghana government were doing a collaboration. It was called Operation West Bridge, and I started developing the hunger to do something about it, and so that fed into it. So eventually, when I decided to piece the whole thing together, I had to do some research, and then also try and get people who were involved. I spoke to some users and those who were into distribution of narcotics, and that helped to put the story together. No, I only schooled here. I haven't worked here before. The writing is almost complete for the second part. I mean, the whole story for the whole parts of the whole four parts is complete. It's about the scripting, and sometimes you go back, you want to revise one or two things and all that, and primarily that's it. The second part is almost done. We just had to, because an action movie, you want to make sure that all the action scenes you're trying to come out with are realistic and achievable for the technical team. So there's some level of work that has to go into it, going back with the technical people involved with putting the action scenes together. So I think that's what is probably left, but as we go forward, we're looking at probably shooting somewhere in August, September. Very much so. The first part, the Genesis, focused on the narcotic industry in Ghana. Like I said, the second part is looking at West Africa, and in doing so, we'll be looking at how the trade crosses beyond borders, and Nigeria is key to this storyline. So we'll be having some big Nigerian movie actors involved in the second part of the project. Cartel the Genesis is a well thought, put together storyline. It looks at one of the jarring problems in our society, which is narcotics, and I believe, my team and I believe that, and to influence our youth and to impact them, we need to communicate to them through channels which they most understand and they relate to, and one of them is movies. They love watching movies and they love listening to music and all that, and they like to hang out with friends and say, oh, we watched around to know what this, or Genevieve that, and if they relate to it, it means that if we put a message across in a movie for them, they are likely to receive it whilst enjoying themselves. So the movie is entertaining, action, well choreographed and well executed, and the storyline is, it's not a storyline you come and see from this first part and you tell me how it's going to end. You can't do that. So it's fun. Come and enjoy yourselves. Hello Nigeria, it's been fun hanging out with TVC Connect mates. Stay tuned.